Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming here today, taking your time this lovely evening to attend our press conference. Models and beautiful people of Cebu, members of the press, thank you so much, pageant bloggers, and my friends. It's nice to see you all here. And thank you so much for supporting us in the journey of the next Mutya ng Pilipinas 2022. As you may know, Mutya has entrusted me as a franchise holder for Mutya ng Pilipinas Cebu for this year. So I'm truly honored that they entrusted me with this, and I promise that I'll do my best to find very suitable candidates to make the organization and their cities proud. So, wish me luck, everybody. So for this, this year, Mutya ng Pilipinas is hosting their 52nd edition on December 4th, and we're gonna send out the final girls by November 15, but they will be announced on October 30. So we're gonna hold a series of screenings. The first one being on either the 16th or the 19th. That hasn't been set yet. And another one on the 23rd. And then the final one on the 30th, where we may be having a special guest from Manila. It may be Miss Cory or one of the winners of 2019, the last Mutya ng Pilipinas. So we're very excited to meet more aspirants. I mean, these girls here look like they could already be the hopefuls, but I know for a fact that we'll be sending more than one from the Visayas region to represent in Mutya ng Pilipinas. So it won't be just one, it will be several, and we hope to meet more in these coming weeks. Yes. So if anybody has So if anybody has any questions?
Yes.
For me, or everyone, anyone?
Hi. Miss Vanessa ako ng Philippines. Alright. Hi, ladies. My name is Prince from Lagan sa Subo. Also pageant vlogger here in Cebu. Mutya ng Pilipinas, like it's been a decade already, or I mean like one of the major pageants when you say it in here in the Philippines. We are just curious, what are new, or are there new grounds at stake for the Mutya ng Pilipinas?
So, I cannot disclose yet, but all I can say are there are new crowns to look at for this year. But I can't say. But there are new crowns.
Oh, we can't wait for that. And also, like, how many, does it take months for this competition? Like, normally, because I have, when I try to check some other pageant, like long talaga yung competition, like, how many months will it take for the Mutya ng Pilipinas?
For this year, it's going to start on November 15th, and the final night will be December 4. Yeah, so very short, this one. But even during my time in Mutya ng Pilipinas 9 years ago, it wasn't months. It was maybe 3 weeks also. So not much of a change this year.
So there tendency that yung papadala niyo po is like prepare na talaga sa from Manila.
The girls?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So there won't be a lot of time for training. But so the girls that we choose do have to be already ready, and I guess they just have to be fast learners, so that we will be able to still hold a bit of training for them before we send them out to Manila, because they will be representing us, and we want to make sure that they will be in the top of their game by the time they represent us in Manila.
You mentioned earlier that you will be sending not only one but more ladies. So does it mean because it's Cebu, which means they will also represent some parts of Cebu province, like the other pageants right now?
Yes, precisely. So there will be, depending on the organization, meaning the management team in Manila, there will definitely be more than one girl and representing where they're from in the Visayas region.
So, ang dami kong tanong, no? Sorry po. Kasi for now, like, before we send any candidates to Manila, we usually have here in Cebu some contests now. We have this in Cebu, and then each there will be a contest ba for Cebu or directly sent off na po tayo for Manila?
So this essentially, the next few weeks will be the contest. We won't be holding a grand pageant. It would be just 2 screenings after this. So the first one being the September 9. That was 1. And then there'll be 2 more on the week of the 16th and then on the 23rd. And then a final one where we pick the favorites from the screening. And then we will call the finalists on that day, on the 30th. Yeah. So the question of how many girls per se, that's still a mystery. It will depend on, but there will definitely be a Miss Cebu, definitely be one. And then probably more, well definitely more, I'm sorry, there'll be definitely more. But how many is not sure. It could be 3, it could be 4.
Or it could be more, kasi when you say Cebu, it's one of the powerhouse.
Exactly.
So we will be expecting talaga ng more.
Hi, my name is Vanessa from the Freeman newspaper. Good evening, everyone. The first question, clarification lang. The 4 girls were called aspirants. So, does that mean they are not yet official candidates? They can still be caught later on?
Yes, not yet.
Okay. So, can you hear from the 4 of all the beauty pageants around in the Philippines, what made you decide to try out for Mutya?
Thank you, you guys.
Yeah.
Alright, good evening again. So yes, that's a very interesting question because yes, indeed, we have a lot of pageants in the Philippines already. And why Mutya? That's a very good question. Well, I always believe that Philippines has a lot to offer, and we're in an archipelago, which means we have different islands. We are composed of many different islands, and each island has something to offer. And me, in my case, I screen here in Cebu, but if ever I will be given this chance, I would actually want to represent my hometown, where I was born and raised in Mindanao, which is Zamboanga, Sibugay. So I think that my hometown, this is my belief, and I believe other girls as well, that our hometowns has a lot to offer, and my hometown as well is not different from others. And if I will be in the correct platform, I think I will be able to bring my hometown with me. That's all. That's my reason why I'm with Mutya. Girls?
Thank you. I just want to try new things because this is my first time pageant, national pageant. And I will be presenting my hometown, which is Biliran province. And that's all.
Of course, despite there being a lot of prestigious pageants in the Philippines, with the Philippines being a very big powerhouse in pageantry, I joined Mutya Pilipinas because, of course, any opportunity to represent the Philippines on an international stage would be such a blessing, and it would be my pleasure to represent not only my province but also the country on an international stage.
Makes me the last person to answer the pressure. Anyway, the reason why I joined Mutya Pilipinas is actually because after my downfall in my recent national pageant, I think that it's time for me to step up. And it is a signal from me to the people that it is not my time to stop and give up in the world of pageantry. And I think that I still have a lot to offer, so I'm not giving up, and I will still try to join as much pageants as I can until I give up. But that is something that will never happen because I will not give up in the world of pageantry. And I think that Mutya Pilipinas has given me the chance and has opened another door of opportunity for me. So that is the reason why I've joined this pageant this year. National pageant was this. The last pageant that I joined was actually Miss Philippines era.
Thank you, ladies. Now, back to Angeli. I'd like to ask if Miss Cory Carino have any, what's her marching order, or reminders, or tips for you? And is this the first time she asked you to be a franchise holder?
Yes, this is the first time she asked me. I was quite shocked with the offer, and it was also very exciting at the same time. Well, they held a screening last September 9, and I think only a few girls came. Is that correct? Yeah, like 8. So that's when they contacted me and said, there's so much potential in Cebu, and we think that we need to go back and have another one. So that's why we're continuing the search here. And so what you're saying is the Mutya ng Pilipinas has changed a bit. They're all about sustainability now, and you're going to see it in the national pageant, what they're planning for this year. And women empowerment, of course. And there's a few things that changed in the requirements, like the height requirement is completely gone. We're more inclusive now of that. And then, yeah, back in my day, I was the shortest girl. And so yeah, the height requirement is gone. The age requirement has also gone up. And so it has become more inclusive, and I'm very excited to see the type of girls that we're going to have this year for the national pageant.
Next question. Back in 2013, you made the Philippines and Cebu particularly proud with your back-to-back with Disney Gomez. Can you go down memory lane? What are your fondest memories as Mutya title holder and eventually winning your international assignment?
Well, thinking about Rosini just kind of also brings me back to Mommy Jonas, who was Jonas Borges, who was a big part of my journey. I would not have joined without him, and everything from the very beginning to the very end, he was there for me. And Rosini and I also had a very close relationship from just the training days all the way up until the international pageant, where she was too sick to turn down the crown at that point. So, but other than that, there were plenty of fond memories. I think my favorite was all the traveling. We got to travel all over the Philippines, and that's what I love about Mutya ng Pilipinas. Their partnerships with LGUs all over the Philippines. And also, when I did Miss Tourism, it was the same thing. There was a lot of travel all over the world, meeting new people, the bonding with the girls. I know you wrote an article with my runners-up, Marie Montang and Alsdes Lisa. So we made plenty of fun memories during our win that year, and I miss them.
Thank you so much.
That's true. Any question?
So Ms. Secretary, the question is, who will be helping you in screening the candidates?
So we gathered sponsors for this event, and also the management team is also going to be very helpful this year. So we have some members of the management team in Manila, and then also our major sponsors will send a representative for each screening. But then in the final screening, when picking the girls, it will be very much dependent on the management team.
Hi, Chrissy from Z Lifestyle. So what qualities are you looking for for these aspirants that will be representing in the national stage.
So, Mutya ng Pilipinas being one of the oldest pageants, the longest running pageants in the Philippines, they're still sticking true to their core values. So, it has to be a friendly, bubbly girl with it's really more about personality and being friendly and inviting people to come visit the Philippines. That was really what the core of Mutya is about. But this year in particular, there is a focus on sustainability, so sustainable fashion, even the environment. So the girls do have to have some knowledge with that and then bring something extra to the table. So it's all about promoting the Philippines, sustainability, and themselves. So that extra thing they can bring to the table.
Can know. Now, when it comes to pageant creative, it's not only beauty, but with the brain as well. That's my favorite part, the brain. Now, can you tell us also just a little bit, what's the purpose of joining Mutya, or what is your advocacy in order for you to fit as the next one of the crowns or win crowns for Mutya ng Pilipinas 2022 or 2023? That would be 2022. Yes. Go ahead, Ms. Makin. You ended earlier, so you started. Yes.
Alright, so my advocacy is, I'm still going to stick with my old advocacy in my previous pageants. It is still the environmental protection and conservation, particularly through recycling plastic wastes and repurposing them to make life-saving materials. So since we know that Mutya ng Pilipinas is also promoting sustainability now, I think it's about time for me to step up also and talk about this issue of plastic pollution, not only here in Cebu, but of course in the whole country of the Philippines. And we all know that the world will not be sustainable enough if we will be using plastic all the time. And I think it is about time for us to use plastic materials and repurpose them into something that could not only help save the environment, but also help save lives as well. Thank you.
With my background in human ecology, I majored in clothing, textile science, and material culture. I started a business called Gikan, and I handmade clothing using indigenous textiles, and I actually partnered with Anthill, which is a local business here in Cebu, and I purchased their scrap fabrics and turned them into masks and other accessories like bags. And part of the proceeds of that go to Feed the Future, which is a community initiative that me and my cousin started. Right now we're working in Bohol, but hopefully with a platform like Mutya ng Pilipinas, I can bring it into the national stage and help a lot more people that way. So we're not only talking about sustainability here with the scrap fabrics, but also helping out with our fellow Filipinos. All right. Well, as for me, my advocacy is about women and children's protection, which is also in line with Mutya's goal, which is women empowerment. And that is my advocacy. It is because I myself, I filed a case against someone, act of lasciviousness to be exact. It is because, I do not tolerate harassment, and women should stand up. Women should be brave enough, and we should stop hiding. I know, and I heard a lot of women who's gone to save situations and actually chose to be silent and chose to, close the doors and just hide and try to forget the past. In my case, it's been, I think, 10 years since I was almost raped, and that haunted me for many years until I finally decided to come out the closet and started to talk about my story. And I noticed that the more I talk about it, the more I heal. And that's what I want to bring on the table. I want to help women, not only those women who experience different types of abuse, but also women who are scared of their own insecurities. It's time for us to step up, because After all, women is the backbone of our country. We are behind, yes, we are behind those people, I mean, men, successful men in the business. And we've been standing, tall, shoulder to shoulder with those men. And I think it's time for us to do the same thing.
Yeah, about me is my focus is about teenage pregnancy, which is nowadays a lot of teenagers got pregnant because of unprevented intercourse. And I want, if ever, it's okay if I speak Tagalog.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Whatever you're comfortable.
May iwasan naman natin ito sa paraan ng paggagamit ng birth control pills or condom. Pero sana isipin natin na may pangarap pa tayo or ang pamilya natin ay naniniwala sa atin na may maabot pa tayo.
We're curious also, I've talked with Ms. about this. We have a question because we have not thoroughly yet seen the criteria. Do you accept married or single mom?
Mutya ng Pilipinas still does not accept married and single women at this time. But it is great that Miss Universe organization has finally opened those doors. So I feel like it's just going to be about time that the local pageants and national pageants all over the world will start adapting this new rule. But this announcement of the Miss Universe organization adding married and mothers to the international pageant is very new. So it's going to take some time for the national pageants to adapt to this. But I feel like it's going to be very soon.
I just thought of this right now. I'd like to ask the four ladies, what are your impressions of Miss Angeli the first time you saw her?
Girls wants to go first. First of all, we have the same name, just different spelling. But she is very, very graceful. She's, a good role model for all the girls out there, and I can see why she won Mutya ng Pilipinas and her respective international titles. So, thank you for gracing us with your presence. More.
Happy birthday.
Well, the first thing that Miss Angie said to me earlier was, "Oh, we love a girl with short hair. We love a queen." Rather. And I felt so flattered actually because it has also been an insecurity sort of. And then hearing her say that, like from a person who's I've been looking up to since she won, it's such a good opportunity for me to see her in person today. And I think that seeing her right now, you can see how gorgeous she is, right? And she's also a very bubbly person, and I'm so glad to be in her presence as well tonight.
Debut.
Yeah, that's really true. Well, in my case, actually, I was really surprised because she's a head turner, and then when she arrived earlier, she reached out to me immediately for a best and I was like, oh my god, she's very approachable. So I'm really surprised with her beauty, of course, and she's really down to earth. So yeah.
If we have questions from other media, please stand by.
Other media.
Please continue.
We just talk about like 5 minutes, but I think she's hindi kasi kami masyadong nag-usap, so
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
Years, 30 years. So
Okay. Una naman. Di ba sabi naman talaga, saan ka Mutya? Of all the candidates that will be joining, sino ba talaga si Mutya na hinahanap niyo? is there any that for the candidates, so future candidates that will be joining, are there, what should they prepare before they come here for the screening? Ayun.
Sorry, just to make sure your question, what should they...
Like, what should they prepare? What should they do? Like, pagpunta na dito, or ano ba talagang dapat ba prepare na talaga yung nagagawa na ba sila, or may advocacy na ba sila, or ano? Ganun.
Oh yes, they definitely have to be prepared with their advocacy, because also the advocacy is where their confidence will come from. And when you believe in something that you're fighting for, that also builds the confidence, and that will also show when they're out competing for the crowd. So yes, they must prepare the advocacy and also be very confident in themselves. I think the only thing that brought me so far in Mutya was confidence. It wasn't being the tallest. It was definitely not being the most the sexiest or the most pretty. It was just loving what I do and also believing in the things that I did. So it's made me more confident. So that's definitely something the girls should bring.
Okay, very last from me. This is for our 4 aspirants because we've been talking about sustainability for a few minutes now, and because it is Mutya's thrust this year, I'd like to ask 2 of the country's top pageants, MVP and MWP. One of their clothing sponsors in their previous editions is one of the biggest fast fashion polluters in the world. I don't know how to pronounce it. Shein. It's a very controversial brand because it's a big fast fashion polluter, but then these 2 major pageants got the company as a clothing sponsor. So scenario is
Jojo Bargat.
Is a fast fashion polluter.
Yeah, Jojo Bargat.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What if you're already official candidate of a pageant and say you're advocacy, sustainability, and then you will get a clothing sponsor that, like, I don't know how to pronounce it. Shein. Would you continue with the pageant knowing that the sponsor goes against your advocacy values? Scenario.
Well, yes. As far as I know, Shein is, yes, it's one of the biggest polluters, and also, according to research, their workers are also not well compensated, and they're working in a really bad condition. If I will be one of the successful candidate clothing company, yes, I'm going to
Thank you again, members of the press and people who've come here today for supporting Mutya ng Pilipinas Cebu. I know that this year already we have so many beautiful girls, and I don't know how we're gonna pick just a few when we meet some more, but I already can tell that this year is gonna be special. So I hope that you follow the Mutya ng Pilipinas Cebu Facebook page to keep updated on the dates and also the events and our amazing sponsors that are keeping us alive. Please continue to support us, and we promise we won't disappoint this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, a round of applause to Mutya ng Pilipinas 2013, Angela Dion Gomez, Miss Tourism International. All right, so with that, please give our beauty queens a round of applause. We would also like to acknowledge one participant who wanted to apply tonight, so we'd like to call her on stage for a little while, Miss Jessie Thea Alberca.
Thank you.